Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's webinar. We already have 129 people joining us. Tonight will be a Power Pack webinar. Make sure that you have your writing devices. Make sure you have something to take down notes. And have all your questions ready because Brett is going to go for about 45 minutes. And then we're going to be having questions. We're going to try to get some of your questions while the webinar is going. So put your questions there in the chat box and we'll try to respond as best as possible. Tonight we're going to be going into more proven Q4 tips. So we want you not only to be on here and just be listening, but write down something actionable. This is my challenge to you coming on here. I want you to write something down that's actionable that you can take action on for tonight. So after you get off this webinar, you're going to go do something. So I want you to write down at least one or two of these tips that you can take action on. That's the challenge for tonight. Tonight we're going to have Brett Bartlett. He's going to be presenting. Jim is on here, Stephen, and Lance. I'm not sure if Nathan is going to join us, but everyone is here, so hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. Give us a check-in in the chat box and let us know where you're coming in from, as we will be going live here in another couple seconds. So Brett, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to this presentation.
Man, thanks so much for having me on. This is really cool. You know, I think we could learn a lot from each other in this process. I think one of the coolest things is actually going to be make sure you stay to the end, because I always think if you line up 10 different Amazon sellers, right, that have been doing this for a little bit now, and you ask them their strategies, you know, for any given thing, you'd almost get 10 unique answers. I don't use the word different. I use the word unique now, because I think you'd have a different perspective from each seller and what they've done. So I think this is an awesome webinar to have all three of us on there, and Jim included, to kind of give different perspectives on Q4. And so whenever you guys are ready to let me loose, I'd love to get into the the meaty part of the content, because I really think one of the coolest things is going to be at the end when we get to answer some of the questions.
Nice, nice. So we just taking welcome from everyone. Jim, are you on here? Lance?
I am, dude. I'm going to be in the background answering questions. If people have questions or want to say, hey, I'm just going to be learning and answering questions. You may not hear from me again the rest of the night unless someone has a question directly for me. But let's do this thing, dude. I'm excited.
Let's do it, guys. I'm ready to go.
All right, Brett.
Cool. All right. Well, let's rumble, man. All right. So I use the word proven in this title page mainly because I think a fun thing to do. I think the goal of this presentation is to go back in a time machine and talk to myself, actually. So this is kind of how I'm going to be talking this whole time, is if I could go back in time right now and tell myself everything that I know now, that I wish I knew a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, man, I would have made so much more money, I would have saved so much money, and I would have saved myself a lot of worry. And so when I was thinking, when you guys invited me on to talk about Q4 and stuff, I was like, okay, what's the best way to frame this? And I think the best way that I'd like to frame this is, look, you guys, everybody listening is at a different point in their business, but one thing for sure, every year you learn something new. And so I think it'll be really fun to kind of pretend like we're going back in time and I get to talk to past Brett and tell him everything that I wish I knew about Q4, because we hear so many different things. We hear so much different information, and to be honest, it can be very, very overwhelming, right? You don't know whether the sky is falling or rainbows and butterflies are out. And so the good news is I actually have some really hard data now on different things. I've been through a few Q4s now, a few Christmas seasons. I feel like I've taken my wounds, I've had my celebrations, and I feel like I can actually give you guys real information that hopefully, like Barrington said in the beginning, very actionable information, and real proven information from Q4. And then I really want you guys to take this information, run with it, and then make some money in this amazing time on Amazon. So I'm sure you guys have heard this. Fourth quarter Christmas season on Amazon is unlike anything else. So those of you who have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone who has not experienced Christmas on Amazon, it is very unreal. And I just say that because I didn't understand that the first year that I sold on Amazon. I didn't understand really how many people come online to buy their stuff. And so I do want to give that perspective. Like it is a very, very unique time to be an online seller, and it's an amazing opportunity to be an online seller during the Christmas season. And I'm using online as a blanket statement because I actually think there's lots of different ways that you could go about this. So the first thing I want to make sure you guys know is you're safe. Okay. I know for me, this is one thing I wish I would have told myself is when you're buying for Christmas, one of the coolest things, especially if you're doing retail, mainly if you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, you're safe. And here's what I mean by that, you guys. Look, let's be real, because I think we hear so many sky is falling things, and we see price variations, and we see competition, and maybe our stuff's not selling, right? All these different things. Here's the coolest thing, okay? You can, let's run through the worst case scenarios right now. You can return your items, okay? I mean, is that going to be fun? Is it awesome to do that? No, but that is awesome that you're safe, and that's a safety valve. If you guys are thinking about doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, you can return your items, okay? And the reason I say that, you might be like, yeah, Brett, obviously. Look, you guys, I import containers of stuff. I have lots and lots and lots of money tied up in different things, and guess what? I can't return those things, okay? So one of the coolest things about Christmas and fourth quarter is you get to walk into stores or buy things online and, give it a shot at selling and making money. But in a very, very worst case scenario, there are mechanisms to get your cash back. And don't underplay that. That's very special in business that you have a safety valve and you're able to do that. And the other thing that's really cool about really, doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage during Christmas season is you can find ways to break even. Okay, and the reason I'm starting with this is I think this kind of my goal is to calm the nerves and the jitteriness, because again, I'm using myself as an example. I was stressed out, man, when on my first run at Christmas, or even my second run at Christmas. I didn't know what was good or bad, right, guys? I mean, I hear chuckles in the back because that's real, right?
I wanted to jump in on
there's
this,
those risk points.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in. I know the
Go
feeling.
for it.
10 years of doing this, I've had times where I was down to $10 in my bank account, and I thought the sky was falling in. And when the season ends and you sell everything off, you're like, wow, I just made enough money that I could probably not do anything next year, and I'll be okay.
Right.
It's like what Brett said, you can always return stuff. There's always a way that you're going to be safe. So I really appreciate the encouragement too, because if I could go back to my old self, I would, say the same things that Brett's saying tonight.
And you know what's good about this as well, Brett? It's a real scenario. We're not giving you any pie in the sky or anything like that. It's a real scenario that you might have these feelings. You might have the jitter like, oh man, I just paid $297 and I didn't make one deal yet. But we're just trying to tell you that, the confidence level that we have didn't come because of just, oh yeah, we're getting first year and we're all super confident. No, it's because we went through it. We saw the jitters. We see what happens year after year. And I think Jim shared a statistic that said, I think it was like 14% of persons are purchasing online, which leaves that huge space where persons are still coming on. If even a 5% change this year, that's a ton more people that are going to be buying their items online. And we are telling you that this is not something that we're guessing. It's proven. We know it's going to work. Just wait until after Thanksgiving, when everybody starts to go ballistic after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. This works, but you have to have the confidence.
Hey, Barrington, I'll jump in. The actual quote there, or the actual statistic is, it's actually still under 10% of all retail shopping is done online. We all may think that, well, it's all there, it's saturated, game over. No, it's moved from like 6% 2 or 3 years ago to about 9 or 10% now. Now the projections are the next 10 years it's going to continue to climb as retailers struggle. We're the ones that are going to be just doing awesome because we know how to sell stuff online. So yeah, the hundreds of millions of dollars that are being spent online, that's just the start. We're at around 9 or 10% right now of all retail is done online, which just blows my mind. It's in its infancy. So yeah, I love that statistic. It tells me there's a very bright future ahead.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, and look, the main reason I was like, man, what slide should I start off with first? If I knew that I was safe when I first started, right, which wasn't that long ago, and I had when I say a shoestring budget, that's probably giving me a little bit of credit. I mean, really, it was like either this is going to work or it's not. And if someone would have just explained to me all the different mechanisms I have to, at a worst case scenario break even, but at a best case scenario make money, that is like unheard of in business. So I would have had a lot more fun with my family in the holiday season. I would have just slept better at night. So I want you guys to know you're safe. You are safe in this scenario, and you can enjoy it and really understand how unique this is, that you get to walk into stores or buy online and either make money or break even. That is amazing in business. Okay, so that said, here's the next thing that I wish I would have told myself. Okay, I wish I would have looked at all marketplaces when I was selling. That was a huge mistake that took me way too long to realize, and I'm going to expand on it in a second. I think we all want that tunnel vision of Amazon, right? Like Amazon's this big machine. It is, you get to send your inventory in, and then it just blows through, and we all high five, right? And it's awesome. It is. It's absolutely amazing. But there's a reality, and it kind of touches on even those statistics you guys were just saying. There's other marketplaces, guys, in this season. Okay, in this season, there is no reason, at a minimum, you should be listing your stuff on all three of these. Okay, Amazon, eBay, and you're like, eBay, oh my gosh, that's so old and boring. Guys, I am kicking myself. I probably left, no exaggeration, a couple hundred, maybe even close to $500,000 in sales by not selling on eBay when I first started. Okay, and especially during the Christmas season. I mean, I just kick myself for that. And I know it's boring, and I know it's been done, but man, oh man, do I actually think eBay this year is going to be an incredible marketplace, because guess what happens, guys? If Amazon's restricting the selling of different products, right, and they're not being, as price competitive, right, then guess where shoppers are going to go? eBay. Guess what has a huge international appeal to people when they're shopping online? eBay. You guys got to be looking at both marketplaces when you're buying. I mean, honestly, you have to. I wish so bad I could literally hop in a time machine, go back, and be checking how things are selling on Amazon, and the second thing is how things are selling on eBay. Because here's two scenarios, and we'll go in. Oh, go ahead, Brayton.
No, I just want to jump in here real quick, Brett. I'm so happy you said that, because I am looking at my phone. I'm sitting here on an island. I'm looking at my phone right now, and I got two notifications. The first one said, eBay sold for $22.57. The next one says, eBay ship now. Buyer paid $22.57. And guess what? Using the Joe Lister app, I don't even touch it. I just look at notification. Mm-hmm. It is sold. I get the same payout that I would get on Amazon, mm-hmm. and I get the same payout using eBay and PayPal. Same payout comes to PayPal. And, it's just because of cross-listing. All my inventory that's on Amazon, cross-listing on eBay. Never underestimate it. It's the same green dollar you get when you sell on eBay.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, and look, I'll speak first on this. I just was dreading selling on eBay. I don't know why. I don't really have a great reason besides being half lazy on it. And look, it is a huge international marketplace, and I think here's another thing that's going to happen. Because of all these different, hurdles that Amazon's making different sellers jump through now, restrictions on selling certain brands, guys, that stuff's going to sell out. It's going to sell out, okay? Those super hot items are going to sell out, and if there's not enough supply hitting the Amazon marketplace, people are going to turn to eBay, okay? And if you're there, and if you're on both, you are getting the best of both worlds. And it is so boring, it is so basic, but it is essential. The last place there's three essential ones that I'm just kicking myself for not being on. Amazon, eBay, and Craigslist, guys. If you are local in the U.S. and even if you don't live in the most dense areas, Craigslist is still an awesome alternative, and it's cash. You guys, if you are buying certain things that are in high demand, okay, you would be shocked at the people that come in and will pay cash, drive to you, pay cash, and pick it up. Okay, it's just an amazing season, and there's so much demand out there. It's simple supply and demand. Okay, this is the time of year where demand typically heavily outweighs supply. And so 3 basic things that every single person can do: Amazon, eBay, and Craigslist, right? You gotta be on them. You have to. You have no excuses. Don't be me from a few years ago, is what I'm saying. You guys are better than that. You can learn from it, and man, oh man, you will be so happy you did it. All right. Here's my next big tip here. And Jim echoes this, and I'm a big believer in this, especially this time of year. Okay, mile wide and an inch deep. And what does that really mean? Okay, and so again, I'm just talking to past Brett right now. Past Brett would fall in love with a certain product, right? And I'd go, oh my gosh, I'm going to sell, I can buy 20 of these, but why not buy 300 of them, right? And bet the house on them because they're selling so well right now, okay? There's a reality to that, guys. That is just not that smart, okay? A mile wide and an inch deep looks like this. I'm going to buy 5 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, 5 of these, right? And you're just diversifying your portfolio out in that process. It's going to be very hard to get burned on one item. And it's super boring. It's not that sexy, but it really, really does work in this season because you're not susceptible to one person taking the price, or maybe that one item or those 2 items didn't sell as good as you were hoping, right? It kind of balances the boat out. So I think it's very, very critical to not go super, super deep. Don't bet the house on one specific item. And here's a little trick, okay? If you look at stores or even look online, and they're limiting quantities of different things, so it's kind of like look for that indicator. If they're saying limited quantities only, or you can only buy 3 of these, or 2 of these, or 5 of these, whether it's online or in the store, those are great indicators, great items to go for a mile wide and an inch deep. Okay, because it's just simple. It's simple supply and demand. Economics 101. Okay, if they're limiting quantities, it is going to be harder for people to buy them, right? It is going to be harder for them to hit the resale market, right? Okay, so in that theory, why not start to limit your radar a little bit on items that you know are going to be limited in their supply, right? Because stores are already starting to institute that stuff. Whether it's online or walking in there, they say, hey, you can only buy 3 of these, you can only buy 5 of these, right? Well, what I started to do, and I'll tell you guys a super funny story at the end of this, but what I started to do for the last couple of years is really just focus in on those items and figure out ways to go super wide with them. And oh my gosh, it was one of the best decisions I ever made because those are the items that typically have the highest price increases. Those are the items that all the lazy people don't go after, and they are typically the items that have there's a reason they're limiting that supply. It's because they're anticipating such a high demand for those items. So if you guys want a quick hack, a quick thing to make sure you're buying correctly, this is one thing I wish I would have told myself. Brett, look a mile wide and an inch deep, okay? And look for those items that stores are already saying, hey, look, you can only buy 3 of these. You can only buy 5 of these per person. Those are great indicators that those items are going to be good sellers during the Christmas season. They are going to absolutely spike further into closer to Christmas. And the supply is going to be a little bit less. A couple other quick hacks that I like to go for, besides looking for limited quantities. I love store exclusives. I'm sure people have talked about them already in your groups. But store exclusive guys are, again, it's just that simple supply and demand. Only that store has them, therefore most likely the supply is going to be a little limited. Take those store exclusives and bring them onto Amazon. Take Target store exclusives, take Toys R Us store exclusives, take all those different store exclusive items and bring them onto Amazon, but don't buy super deep, okay? Just don't do it. Don't tempt yourself with it. 3, 5, 10 of those, that'll suffice. Okay, you don't need to bet the house, but I like those store exclusives too. Another tip that you guys really should be looking at, okay, look beyond toys. We all want those hot toys, right? We all want those hot toys that are just going to blow off the shelf, for sure, and it's obviously a great season for that. Look, we sell a lot of toys. I understand that category more than anyone else. But here's the thing I understand about that category. It is like a rocket shooting up and then kind of comes crashing down. Okay? Look beyond toys. One of our best seasons in Christmas came when we cleared the shelves of beauty products. Okay? When we were going store to store cleaning out these beauty products, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Now I know that's a gated category and stuff like that, but for those of you who can sell in it, it's a great category to go into, okay, during the season. Think about stocking stuffers. I actually have data from PPI on how many people buy stocking stuffer items during Christmas, and it far beats any other item. I mean, the surge of stocking stuffer type of items is so much more than anything else. So think about stocking stuffers. Would someone throw that in a stocking? Chapstick, lipstick, socks, underwear, all those super weird random things. It doesn't have to be the hottest toy. Okay, it really doesn't. And a lot of those things are the things that go on the biggest sales during the Christmas season. That is a little secret that I found out a couple years back, is those things are typically what they'll put on the highest sales, or you buy 2, you get 1 free. Those are awesome items.
Brett, that's funny too, because I just learned something. I've been selling for 10 years, and like you said, unique strategies. I just learned something. I've never done the stocking stuffer, so thanks, man.
Yeah, and look, I found out about it by complete accident, but I'm like, holy moly. These things are, no one's really looking at them. They're, easier to find when you walk into stores, and I'm just saying, don't get that tunnel vision, guys. There's way too many products out there, and everybody's coming online. And I'm just going to use myself. Actually, a better example of the ideal shopper is my wife. Okay, here's my wife on Amazon. She is going to come in and look at the toy for my daughter, right? But then she's going to load up the cart with everything else she needs for the Christmas season, because she's not going to spend time going into Target doing anything like that. She's going to do like a one quick, big sweep of Christmas shopping, and she's not going to cross-compare whether that 6-pack of chapstick is the best price around. She's gonna go for the convenience. So guys, keep a very, very wide view of the different things you can buy for the Christmas season. Okay, my parents always bought me new underwear, right? And how boring, but at the same time, like, you would be shocked at how much of that stuff you can sell. It is not just toys that sell hot during the Christmas season. So I found a ton of value in that, Lance. I'm glad you backed that up. But there's just way too many products out there, guys, to be thinking about, I got to get the hottest toy. Go ahead. Add anything you guys need to add.
I'm good, Brett. I would disagree, and I was like, definitely be open-minded to different products. It's not just about toys. So, man, it's good to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
And every webinar you learn.
No, thanks, man.
It's amazing, and then a lot of people are like, but I can't get what's the latest one, Lance? The Hatchimals. I can't find any Hatchimals. I go here, they're all sold out. And you spend so much of your time searching for Hatchimals that you leave all the low-hanging fruit right there, and it's just a matter of stepping over. I mean, I shared this one tip. I think it was Lance that said, "Hey, Barrington, are you going to Marshalls?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Go to the shower curtain aisle and check on Tahari shower curtains." And I'm like, "They don't scan. What are you sending me here? They don't scan." He said, "Type in the product. Trust me on this one. Just type in the product." So I went down the whole aisle and I was scanning for Tahari. Nothing scanned. I typed in, and I was like $13 selling for $49.99. And as soon as it hits Amazon, it's gone. As nobody else was doing it, because all the other Amazon sellers would be like me initially. Oh, it doesn't scan. I'm going to leave it. But just knowing that you could just go ahead and type in Tahari shower curtains, check it listing, and they were selling for almost $50 at $13. I took everything in Marshalls, went to Home Goods, took everything in Home Goods, and it was just like, I'm smiling. People are wondering, why is this guy smiling? Because I'm finding a product that everybody else is running away from, and it's right there, all piled up. They're waiting on you to buy them. So just think outside of the box. Thank you for that tip, too.
Nice tip.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so I think this is a good time to. I'm going to say something that sounds very obvious, and maybe some people know it, maybe some people don't. This is a great time to, if you kind of like what you just said, Marshalls, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, if you know the stores you're going to kind of be hitting up, make sure to buy discounted gift cards if they're available. The only reason I say that is, why not take the extra 8% that they're going to give you if you already know where you're going to go shop? And so I do encourage you guys to buy discounted gift cards. There's the best place to go to is giftcardgranny.com to see the different gift card discounts that are available. But I want to tell you, this is very important. I want to tell you guys a story. That I am not exaggerating any of this. Okay, we got really good at sales on Black Friday, and it was built around discounted gift cards. So I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and just to not undermine the power of discounted gift cards. Okay. So what a lot of stores will do is, well, I shouldn't say a lot of stores, some stores. I'll give you an exact example of what we did. We are actually like JCPenney's worst nightmare, okay? In Southern California, we are known as like the JCPenney bandits. I'm not kidding. This is not an exaggeration, okay? So what we did one year is I'm scanning through all like the pre-release Black Friday ads, right? And I see that JCPenney is doing something where if you buy a $100 gift card before, if you buy a $100 gift card, you get 20% off. So essentially you're paying $80 for a $100 gift card. Well, 20%, 20 points, that's a lot off, like right off the bat, okay? And what's beautiful about gift cards is it acts as cash, meaning there's very few stores with gift cards that they will not allow you to, they'll honor every sale on top of that, okay? So here's what we did. Once I saw that opening that the buying discounted gift cards did, so all this was this is a Black Friday ad that said, hey, if you buy these gift cards in advance, we'll give you 20% off. That's crazy, 20%. Okay, so then my job was, all right, I just have to find things inside of JCPenney that are valuable. So inside of JCPenney, I found out that they have an amazing selection of toys, beauty products. Their home and kitchen is okay, nothing too crazy, but they run an awesome Black Friday sale. Okay, and so this is how their Black Friday sale broke down. Okay, so if you spent $100 on a gift card, you got the 20% off. Okay, check, got it. Then if you spent then they put their items, let's say the average item was 25 to 30% off on Black Friday night. So now we're talking 50% off. But JCPenney's prices are a little bit up there, so that would get me a little bit of margin on Amazon, not too much, right? But we're talking like top of the line items now. So let's add these numbers up. 20% off of the gift card, 20 to 30% off on the sale. But here's the kicker. Then, if you spent over $100 in store that night, you got another like 20% off. Okay, so when I added up the numbers, I'm like, holy moly, guys, we're gonna get like 80% off if we do this right. So I kid you not, I assembled about 60 people. We mapped out all of the JCPenney's in Southern California. Okay, and I stationed each one with a 26-foot U-Haul, okay, mapped out all the different products we were going to clear out that night, including the salon, including the toys, including the home goods, the underwear, everything. And we had this thing down like a Navy SEAL version of Black Friday. Okay, 26-foot U-Hauls lined up, and the second it opened at 5 o'clock on a Thursday, and it was like ready, set, go. JCPenney didn't know what hit him. I mean, it was like by 12 or 1 o'clock, we had just literally rotated all of our 26-foot U-Hauls, cleared out everything, and we just had one of the best Black Fridays we've ever had.
Are you
My
kidding
whole
me?
point in telling
You've never told me that
I am not
story,
kidding.
dude. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Did you just say
I kid you
60?
not.
60
Yeah,
people with U-Hauls.
60 people. We had every J.C. Penney
That's
mapped
awesome.
out in Southern California. We actually had some in Northern California too, but we really hit Southern California hard.
That's
And
big
it
league.
was one of my proudest moments because I was like, this is like a Navy SEAL type of assault on Black Friday. And you would just loading up this, walking out with shopping carts full. We pack it in boxes at that moment, pile it up in the 26-foot U-Haul, and then boom, you see the 26-foot U-Haul take off.
That is
And it was
awesome.
just like by the time JCPenney could realize what was happening, and we weren't breaking any rules. We had just kind of looked at all the different deals that were available. And man, we sold everything from frozen toys, we sold shampoos, conditioners, underwear. We actually, even on top of that, the craziest thing was because we spent so much money, we had close to $7,000 in JCPenney store, cash, right? But it wasn't valid till like December 15th. That's how they do it. We actually went and bought all of our Christmas presents for ourselves, and I actually bought all my golf shirts, all my golf gear. It was awesome, man. We had an absolute blast doing it. It was one of our proudest moments. But my whole point of that story is, guys, don't think there's so many creative ways out there. Like, start reading through those Black Friday ads. Look for those things that on the front side they're already saying, hey, look, I'll give you 20% off. I'll give you 15% off. Because all I did was I was like, man, that seems like a great starting point, like out of the gate to have 15% off already, right? That's what started that whole snowball effect. And then I just realized, man, if I do this, and then if I do this, and then if I do this, man, we're getting this stuff like what I know this stuff's like below cost. And so and we ran with that, and that's what made it successful. So, anyways, I tell that story because we loved it, but at the same time, every single one of you is capable of doing something like that. You really have to look at what's out there and look at the discounts that they're giving you on the front side, right? If we would have just walked in there and bought the items at 20, 30% off, it wouldn't have worked, right? Does that make sense? You guys have any questions on that, or is that pretty clear as far as the different opportunities that are out there? I mean, it changes every year. Every Black Friday is different, but those are always out there. Those low-hanging fruit abilities are always out there.
Yeah, I mean, we see questions coming in, but we want to just wait until the end of the webinar. We have all the questions scheduled, so we're just going to put everything in, and when we're done, we ask the question.
Cool, awesome. All right, so let's move on to the next tip that I would give myself. One of the things that I didn't really understand on my first couple, and I think this is human nature, is get in and get out. Okay, because Amazon's a great marketplace to sell on year-round. It's incredible. Selling online year-round is incredible, but there is a harsh reality. Demand is going to spike. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be, where you're just thinking, oh my gosh, I hope this never ends. But there is a reality. It will end. That surge will end. So the goal is get in and get out. Okay, and I'm going to actually go through specific dates that I've learned, so you guys can kind of gauge like, all right, should I lower the price? Should I raise the price? And it'll give you more bearings on how you're tracking, but it kind of ties into my last statement. That's why you want to go a mile wide and inch deep. It's like cash in, cash out, right? Don't kid yourself. Don't do what I did before and think that, oh man, this is going to last forever, right? It doesn't. It's a great opportunity to get in, cash out, and then put your plan together for the rest of the year and enjoy the machine that is selling online. So I actually want to go over specific dates with you guys. This is you'll see so many rumors float around on like what are big sales days, small sales days, oh crap, should I be worried, all those different things. And the good news is, man, oh man, I think you guys know by now, and if you don't, I love data. Okay, I never thought I'd be a data guy. I am a data guy, and I could actually share some numbers with you, not like sales numbers, but more like actual dates in time of what's happening on Amazon historically. Okay. All right. So to give you a background on how I understand this, we have a pretty diverse portfolio of items. A lot of these are our exclusive items. And so what I saw was this. I actually saw the surges for what they are, meaning, on certain dates I see what it spikes to, on certain dates I see what it drops to, and I can give you guys a little bit more bearings. And here's why. Here's what you got to be at. Here's why you want to write down these dates, guys. Is you will know whether to raise the price of your items, lower the price of your items, or whether your item, or how many competitors are going to freak out, because this is what's going to happen. And I know Barrington and Lance and Jim, everyone's seen this, okay? There's going to be sky is falling people, and they are going to freak out during the holiday season. They are going to think that their item's not going to sell, they're going to drop the price, and you're going to see different races to the bottom starting to happen. But the reality is they probably don't understand these dates. I didn't understand these dates, okay? Here's real dates of how the spikes happen on Amazon. Some of these are going to be obvious. Maybe some of these aren't going to be so obvious. Okay, here is for sure the biggest days on Amazon. It is Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Okay, those 2 days, huge spikes in Amazon. So if you can get any of your inventory before those dates in, do it. Okay, if you have things that you're scoping out right now and you can even possibly make a little bit of money on them, get your stuff in now. I used to always just wait for those days to buy. There's a reality. If you can get stuff right now, make sure you get that stuff in for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. They are very, very unique on Amazon. Okay, now here's a reality that I didn't know. From December 1st to December 15th, it's going to slow down a little bit. Not slow down in comparison to the rest of the year, but slow down in comparison to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And this is when everybody freaks out, okay? This is when you'll see everybody starting to drop the price, because what they did is they went out on Black Friday, they bought on Cyber Monday, and they started shipping their stuff in, right? And then from December 1st to December 15th, the supply outweighed the demand. And that's when competition comes in, and that's when your prices start to, see a little bit of races at the bottom. Maybe some of your stuff, maybe not as much. But I can tell you I saw this year after year, and I didn't understand why, but now I do. That's the time when, even though there's tons and tons of buyers, it's not Amazon's peak time, okay? It's not the time when everybody's taking advantage of Prime, okay? And so this is very, very key to understand. December 1st to December 15th, breathe. Okay, if you have some items that are a little bit slower, maybe you're seeing the price drop a little bit, you're okay. It's okay. There's not, that is actually very, very normal. Competition has come in. There's a little bit more supply, and the shoppers on Amazon side, even though there's more because it's the Christmas season, it is not at its peak. Okay, from December 15th to December 22nd, it's like Black Friday every day. Okay, that's when.
I just have to jump in here.
Go ahead.
when you talk about December 15th to December 22nd, as Brett just mentioned, everybody wants to take advantage of their Prime account. They're going to ship next day on everything. If you look at your penders, what we call penders, when we go in and we refresh and go orders, and then we look at the pending items, every time one cashes out, you'll see second day, next day, second day, next day, second day, next day. So looking at that statistic, it tells you from the 15th to the 22nd or 23rd, where people have to buy, it will just go absolutely ballistic. I mean, Lance called me, and he was ballistic. He said, I have 867 pending. I'm on the phone trying to get the seller support to see whether or not something is wrong, because there's no way I could have 800 and something pending in one day. And the guy was like, just relax and breathe. It's normal. These are all sales. They're authentic. They're sales. Just relax. And he was going nuts in what? Everything was pending. That's what you talk about. That's when the rush happens. That's when you're just like, wow, this is just not normal.
Yeah, and it's important to stay the course. That's my point. Like, for me, past Brett, I would have been looking at like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, right? But there's a reality. You actually are waiting for that December 15th to December 22nd side. Guys, I'm telling you, like, here's easy numbers. 4 to 6 times the sales volume happens in those days in comparison to even higher volume of December 1st through December 15th. Even though those are higher volume days compared to the rest of the year, December 15th through the 22nd sees much, much higher demand because it's really utilizing Amazon's machine at that point. Okay, and so I tell you that because when you go out and buy your inventory, let's say you buy some inventory on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that stuff, understand that December 15th and December 22nd, that's really those days you're waiting for to see how your inventory is doing. December 1st through December 15th, you might have a couple of things that are, on the bubble. That's okay. very, very normal. That's what I wish I would have known, in looking back. Anything you guys want to add on that stuff? Because I'll go to the next slide, and then we should be pretty much on track for our Q&A after this next one.
Yeah, Brett. I was just
Lance.
going to add. Oh, go ahead, Bear.
No, I mean, just that one story. And, we have a lot of wholesale products. So we kind of, know how to ride the season. And, you have persons who go out on Black Friday and they buy on Cyber Monday. And remember, you have that transit time to get to Amazon. And then what happens is, and something that you have to always look out for, is they start to receive products and it gets a bit slower. So they'll say, oh, we have your product in our warehouse, but it's not going to be available for sale until maybe December or December 20th. And that's kind of something that will get a bit tricky. That's why you always have to try and prep as much ahead of a time as possible, because sometimes they'll receive your stuff on the 10th and they'll say, not available for sale until the 18th. But the good thing, Amazon will take back orders. If it's a really, really, really hot product and they know they're tracking it on UPS and it's coming in, they will take back orders. They will start to sell your products even though they're not physically ready to be shipped out yet. But you know what? As soon as you can get your products, get in and get out. Don't wait. And during that time, we utilize, merchant fulfilled between the 15th and the 22nd, because sometimes we're just not going to get our products in there in time to catch that really ballistic sales time. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Barrington. It's funny, we think so much alike. And with the back order, the product that you mentioned, when I sold like 800, and I think it was maybe 3 or 4 hours, 800 units sold, and they were on back order. So products will sell on back order, and sometimes it will say arrives December 22nd, and the next day it says December 18th, because they kind of figure things out on their end, and those dates change. So it's one of the most exciting times of Q4. I'm glad Brett brought that up, because, man, I have a blast around the 15th.
You can't sleep.
I can't sleep, man. I never sleep the whole Q4 season, so I really don't sleep then.
Yeah, you guys totally nailed it. I think I love, Barrington, what you added there too is don't be afraid to merchant fulfill. It's not super fun, but at the same time, if you get the hot thing and you have it in your hand and you can throw it up for sale and you're going to make money after you ship it, man, oh man, throw that thing up for merchant fulfill. It's get the money in your hand, you're in, you're out, you get to go back and reinvest that even if you have time. So, yeah, I love those additions. All right, so this is the last one, and then we'll open up to Q&A on this. This is one of my favorites for the Christmas season. Go for the hard stuff, okay? And the reason I say this is lazy people will always be lazy, okay? They want the easy, I'm going to walk into a store, the first aisle that I see, right? I'm going to buy 10 of those, sell them online, and then I become a millionaire, right? They're always, they will always do that. One thing that I learned is go for the hard stuff. And I'll expand a little bit on what some things that I consider hard, but basically it's a pretty simple hack in your head. If it's super easy, a lot of people are going to do it. If it has any type of annoyance, a lot of people aren't going to do it. Okay? And that's why I told that JCPenney story. That stuff, for some people, they're like, I'm not gonna go days in advance and buy JCPenney, gift cards. I'm not gonna do that. Like, okay, I'll do it, right? I'm not gonna figure out how to have multiple people at multiple stores. Okay, cool, I'll do it. And so that's really what I did. You would have cracked up at the deals that I got for JCPenney. They were in like the back of the catalog, like bottom right-hand corner, smaller print, like, oh, by the way, if you buy 2 of these, you get 2 of these,
They didn't want you to see that.
Those were yeah, those were the things where, like, everybody else looked at the mega ad in the front, buy this, toy at 20% off, and everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to go for that one. I'm like, no, I'll take that thing at the bottom right back page that says, if I buy 2 of these shampoos, I get 2 of these shampoos for free. And I guess the whole point of that is, look, guys, the lazy people will go for the easy stuff. Those are the people who are going to increase competition, see their prices drop. If you go for some of that harder stuff, you will reap the benefits. So I'll just go over a couple what I consider harder stuff and what I've seen work over the years. Oversized stuff can be total gold. Okay, we were shipping out these. I mean, it's so funny to think back, man. So we found this hot selling like Home Depot kids, like I think it was a Home Depot Black & Decker kit from Target, right? Do you guys remember those? Do you remember those at all? I think it was like 3-4 years ago. Anyways, I mean, dude, the things were like 3 feet by 3 feet. I mean, just monsters, right? And you know, we were buying them though for like $45 at Target and selling them for like $230 on Amazon, right? But they were annoying. They were really big, and it sucked. It sucked to, you know, do 8 car trips to get all the inventory we wanted. But man, when we actually got them all home, I'll never forget this. We were in a decent sized house, and I think it was like the house was like 30. It doesn't matter, like 3,500 square feet, and I'm not kidding. I had just my one daughter at the time. She was like 1.5 years old, just started walking. There was only like one lane that you could walk through the house in. Everything else was like 6 feet high of these boxes. And my daughter, like, we'd have to almost like keep a tracker on her because I had no idea where she was sometimes when she'd be, you know, when the house was full of stuff. Because I'm like, man, we can't see anything. I got to make sure, like, you know, she doesn't get lost in this maze. And so, but my point to that story is those oversized items, everyone was like, I don't want to get those. That's too much work, right? I'm like, cool, I'll go do that, right? Those oversized items really do pay off. So, you know, look for that stuff. Restricted products. Okay, if you're looking on Amazon and you're super bummed because the product's restricted, guys, sell it on eBay. Sell it on eBay. Yep. Please, please, please do this for me. Take a screenshot of when it sells on eBay. Okay, it will sell on there. There's going to be so much selling on eBay this year. It's going to be ridiculous. Because Amazon's drawing a hard line, their sandbox, they get to make the rules, okay? But please, please, please do not limit your buying based off the limitations that Amazon is giving. eBay is a wide open market, especially for those that go, you know, a mile wide and an inch deep. There's going to be so much opportunity. So, man, celebrate if if you're restricted from selling on Amazon, guess what? So are a lot of other people. And Amazon's going to, in my opinion, I think Amazon's going to regret some of that stuff because it's gonna throw off their supply and demand regulated market. Okay, a lot of people are going to be trained to pay for that stuff.
No, excellent point.
So, I mean, don't you guys agree?
On my webinar, that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the other marketplaces and showing them how to set up the other marketplaces. So my webinar is coming up on December 5th. I'm the next one coming up. And I'm going to be just laying it out, just opening up the curtains and showing you how it works and why it works, and just showing you screenshot for screenshot that this thing works. Like, sell it. If it's restricted on Amazon, sell it on eBay. I mean, people on eBay using the same credit cards, they're using, you know, it works. You get the money. And just showing you how it can be done, and you get the same payout. It's not a big deal. It's so easy. I mean, Joe Lister said
I think this could be a good year for it. Yeah, I do. I think this is going to be a unique year. I actually think Amazon's going to look around and go, man, I don't know if we should restrict all this stuff because I think there's going to be I think this is a golden year to look back on eBay and go, man, I can sell this thing because it's going to be so hard for it to hit Amazon. I think Amazon's going to stock out on a lot of stuff. Okay, I really do. I think they're going to stock out, and I think there's going to be huge opportunity for sellers on eBay. So don't limit it by, oh, well, I can't sell it on Amazon, therefore, you know, it's not going to be a hot selling product, or no one's going to buy it. Man, take advantage of it. There's a whole other marketplace called eBay. Really, really encourage you guys to do it. But again, go ahead, Jim.
Did you see my post? I posted that on Facebook just a couple of days ago. It's based on instinct and history and news, the cycle, but Amazon is not stocked up enough for this Christmas. I had the thought, and I was looking at some of the most popular hot toys that are ranked like 50, and I'm like, there's 21 sellers, and Amazon has some. They're going to vanish by December 1. Everything Amazon has is gone for everything in the top 500 toys. Like, I'm not saying that's what will happen. I'm saying if I had to bet on it, I'm thinking that's where we're heading. Because of where the economy is right now, because of the stock levels Amazon has. They just had a fire in one of their warehouses. Who knows how much they lost there. Amazon, the news story, I predicted the news story for January 2017 is going to be, holy cow, guys, we just bought out Amazon. Their shelves are empty. What happened? And they're going to be coming to us saying, fill our shelves.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. No, I actually hadn't seen that. It's definitely on the same page on that because, I mean, look, it's logical, right? Like, if you're going to restrict the supply will go somewhere else. There will always be the demand for it. And I think this, look, if I had to give really one big tip, I think this is going to be a golden year for eBay, a golden selling season, because of the move Amazon made. Amazon had so much speed on eBay, and they kind of just gave a little bit back into the hands of eBay because of this. Like, I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity, guys, and I think next year Amazon will make up for some of its mistakes. That's why this year I actually think, like, man, celebrate if it's restricted on Amazon, because the next place you should look is what's this thing selling for on eBay, what's it completing for on eBay, and eBay will give you a ton more metrics too, of what's it selling, how many have sold, all that stuff. I mean, way more than Amazon's giving you, so it's kind of more of an open book too. So, anyways, yeah, that is. But lazy people aren't going to do that. They're not going to do the hard stuff like that, right? And it's not even that hard. And they're just not going to do it. They're going to want that easy. I walked in Toys R Us. I saw the first shelf that was there. It says 20 to 30%. I scanned it. I saw that I could make some money, and then I sent it into Amazon, and I did my job. Why is Black Friday not working? Right? Why is the Christmas season not working? Well, you didn't really look at a lot of different things that are out there, all the different low-hanging fruit that's out there. Yeah, we're looking very, very heavy on eBay this year. It's going to be a fun year for us. I'm excited. The last thing is with restricted products as well. There's going to be lots of opportunity on Craigslist. If you guys get some stuff and are able to put it on Craigslist, it's going to go very, very well for you as well. So don't be blindsided by hard and fast things. Like, if you guys know other sellers, you guys talked about Hatchimals, right? So if you can't sell Hatchimals but you can buy them, and there's other people in groups that you're a part of that can sell Hatchimals, what's the logical thing to do? Do a small markup, right? Make some money, build a win-win situation, and sell it to them so they can make the money. You're cash in, cash out. It's a great opportunity. That's a true win-win. Guys, there's just way too many opportunities to get blindsided by Amazon restricting one product. I promise there's just way too much out there. So I really hope you guys use a lot of those different things, and most importantly, I really do hope when we're talking about the hard stuff, use compounding coupons and specials. I told you the JCPenney. It's a funny story, but at the same time, it's a very, very true story. Guys, we made more that night than I had made like the previous 27 years of my life. Okay, so it's a real story, meaning like, and it was all based off the fact I was willing to read a little bit more. I was willing to, compound that coupon just a little bit more, right? It was the real deal. So, guys, that's all I have. That's the hard stuff. I'd be totally open to going into the Q&A if you guys are cool with that.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, we're definitely jumping into Q&A. And you know what, Rick? I'm just gonna give one tip now. I always give a tip on the webinars. Have you guys heard about the Nintendo Classic Edition? And Brett just told you about Craigslist. No, Nintendo Classic Edition is selling on Best Buy for $65. Guess the cheapest price I'm seeing on Craigslist? $180. And you would say, don't even think about it. You would think, why would someone just go to Best Buy and buy it for $65? Why would they come on Craigslist? Supply and demand. Supply and demand. You probably can't run into a Best Buy and just grab one. Maybe, it's like, oh, you have to wait for 20 more to get in. You have to wait for another. So the demand is going to go super high. So once you can grab a couple of these consoles, $65, selling for $65 in Best Buy, you are making 2-3 times your money on Craigslist. You could easily pay for your Q4 plan. Boom. Buy 3 of these and you're done. You paid for your plan. Everything else is great.
It kind of reminds me, Barrington, of when I first started this business like 10 years ago. The Wii and the PlayStation. There hasn't been a movement like this with the video game consoles in a long time. Just because the technology has been, they upgrade a little bit, but this is a new concept. It's another new concept. So people are going wild right now over something that was created back in the 80s, and they're just reissuing it. So it's a demand that's being created right now that's just driving people wild. So I remember with the Wii's and the PlayStations, I was making like $20,000 to $30,000 off these things, and I mean that's such a great opportunity to be able to, generate that much revenue from one product. So, man, it's really cool that they're doing that again.
On Best Buy, I know it says sold out.
Yeah, they're all going to be sold out. And that's one of those things when you're on your travels, you don't have to run around and call everybody, but you're going to be in these places anyhow. So it doesn't hurt to walk back to electronics and see if you get lucky. If you do, you just make $150.
I'm going to buy one. I'm coming up for Black Friday. I'm definitely going to get one of these. Trust me, because I want to sit down and play Mario.
I know you won't sleep till you get it either.
Oh man, I'm going to get it. All right, guys. Let's start getting the questions in there now. We should have a lot of questions. Lance, you just want to scroll through here in the question box just to see. Let me see. A lot of persons asked it. Somebody said Craigslist with a question mark. Like, what's that? It's a lucrative marketplace.
Just be safe with Craigslist. Be in a public place. But I did Craigslist for almost a year of my life years ago, and actually lived off Craigslist. So you can do it. Requires work though.
All right. I have a question here from Clyde. He's asking, can you give some guidance to FBM, hosted by merchant sellers, on how to price items competitively, whether on AZ, eBay, or other channels?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start that. That's a tougher question, but I'll give you parameters because it's almost product by product. But there are some general rules on pricing. Look, here's my strategy. This is just Brett's strategy with selling during the Christmas season. It is better to buy it and sell it as quick as possible and get your cash back with whatever amount of money you're comfortable with. I used to always stick to the 3 times rule. That doesn't actually really keep you in it's kind of a guiding point more than a hard and fast rule. And so the best way that I would answer that question is whether you're looking at Merchant Fulfill, FBA, or eBay, or Craigslist, or whatever, the goal is buy it and kind of sell it as quick as possible with a margin that you're comfortable with. And so that's how I like to approach it, because there is a reality that I always understand now is this season won't last forever. So if you can make some money and get the cash back, that's a great scenario, right? There's no reason to try to sell it for $5 more and, possibly just wait yourself out of the season. So I like to have numbers that I feel comfortable with, that I, from what I bought it at and the amount of effort that I put towards it, and then get it in there. If I can cash it out right away, I will cash it out right away and, walk away a happy person.
I agree with that totally, Brett, because you're going to cash out as you keep going to the store and it keeps reappearing. And the funny thing is the prices keep changing so rapidly during the Christmas season. So you might make $5 one time, and then you go back and the price went up to 10. So it will average out in the long run if you keep going back and just taking what you can get at the moment.
Yep.
All right, thanks for that answer. I responded, guys. And someone was just asking, what is Joe Lister? I'm actually going to be walking through that particular software on my presentation, talking about selling on multiple channels. But what Joe Lister does is they will connect to your Amazon account, and what they'll do is create listings on eBay automatically from your Amazon account, and it will just put up all your listings, and they will manage the inventory. So if you have 50 on Amazon, they will manage the inventory. So if you sell 5 on eBay, they're going to, reduce the quantity on Amazon by 5 to ensure that you're balanced, and so you don't run out of stock or you oversell. And what they will also do is ensure that the prices, the payout that let's say your payout on Amazon is $45.77. They're going to list it on eBay with the taking out all the fees and all the PayPal fees, and ensure that you're getting the same $45.79, and they automatically fill the orders. So if you get a sale on eBay, you don't even have to look at it. They'll fill the order, put in the tracking for you, and everything is done, and you just collect your money in PayPal, and life goes on. I mean, it really works. I've been using it for about 6 months, and it works. I think it's like $29 for the 100 listings or less, but it does work. So I've been using it, and we're starting to get way more sales now because it's the holiday time, and people are shopping on both platforms, way, way, way more. So that's what that will do, and I'll be talking about that and other channels on my webinar on December 5th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Barrington, while you're looking for the next question, now that I'm doing private label, I can tell that sales are really increasing just because, I'm consistently selling the same kind of product line all year round. And man, it's really, people are buying like crazy right now.
Yeah.
Can't wait till Black Friday. It's going to be insane.
Well, it's going to be nuts. Yeah, someone was just asking, is it a slow selling time between now and Black Friday? I guess that's a general question. What do you guys say, Lance?
No, I think it's great. I think people are buying right now when November hits, but you're going to notice a big increase after Black Friday. Definitely a big increase. And the good part is if you haven't went out yet, you haven't done anything, maybe you've been busy and you haven't had time to take advantage of the Q4 group, you can still make 20,000-30,000 going out after Black Friday.
Yep. That's
I totally agree with that. No. I was just saying I agree with that. If I had to just put a round number on the increase right now, kind of what Lance was saying, again, this is product dependent, category dependent, but just for round number's sake, I think that it's about a 30% increase in sales right now. And then I think it's kind of like imagine a race about to start and everyone's on the start line. Black Friday for everybody signals like hey, it's time to start. And so that's when everything really shoots up. But you're definitely every day we're seeing a gradual increase for sure.
All right, excellent.
I saw that Stacey Harlow said that she bundled her stocking stuffers. Great idea.
Nice.
Yeah,
with complementary products, which Brett talks a great deal about. Complementary products.
Yeah.
Nice having you on the webinar. Jill had a great question. She was asking, when is the last day we can ship to Amazon to get FBA fulfilled by Christmas?
I ship.
I'm actually. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, they usually have that cutoff here. If you they actually usually send out that cutoff date of what they say it'll be eligible for. I think isn't it usually around like the 11th or 12th, something like that.
Right.
That you can't send before you send your last thing. And really, all that really means is whatever the date is, guys, it doesn't mean, oh no, I didn't get it in time, I can't sell this item. It just means you're going to merchant fulfill it. That's all that means. That's it. That's the only difference.
Because as was mentioned earlier, what happens is if you send after that, they will receive your products and then it says they'll start moving it around. So it won't be, even though it's at Amazon's fulfillment center, it's not available for sale. Unless it's on back order and they're actually, taking orders for you, and then as soon as it hits, they start to ship out. But, you don't want to risk that, but it doesn't mean that you're going to lose the sale. Merchant fulfill. What we do is if we think that, hey, it's going to get to Amazon, but it's going to be a bit iffy to get it on FBA, we're just going to send that, because all that is going to happen is, as opposed to sending products from your location to Amazon's warehouse, you're just going to create a merchant fulfilled listing. When you get a sale, you're going to be sending from your location to the customer directly. So it cuts out that time to go to Amazon, get received, get up and ready for FBA's sale. You're just going to send from your location directly to the customer, which should take 3 days max or 4 days max on UPS priority mail. And we use that a lot, because it's like $5.70, and we use that a lot for merchant fulfilled. You still have your tracking, and it usually gets there. If it's kind of iffy closer to the holidays, I'm going to do UPS with the tracking, with the, like next day or second day. And what we do as an amazing thing that really helps our buyers is, let's say we have a product on eBay. What we do is just add free shipping in there. And sometimes we'll, depending on the profit that we're making, we'll say, hey, free next day shipping. Even with next day, we're still making a profit. Even with next day shipping, we're still making a profit. But your customers are just like, wow, I have to buy from this guy. because the other guy is not offering next day or second day shipping. This guy's offering next day or second day shipping, and he's going to get to us tomorrow, and you'll be amazed at how many more your units you're able to move on eBay. So that's something that you always want to think about. Offering, a competitive advantage where you're able to get your product to the customer way ahead of time. But you have to look at your numbers. Obviously, you have to look at your numbers to ensure I'm still making a profit. Let's say you're buying stuff for $30 and selling for $99. You could do second day shipping all day long, because you're still making a profit.
And the good thing, Barrington, they're getting it quicker from you, and you're on an island, and you're still getting the products quicker to your customers. So there's always a way to get it there the best.
Create that competitive advantage. So if you do merchant fulfill, you can say, hey, I can get it to you second day. And, you could have that to them second day as long as you're making a profit just the same. Let's say you're going to lose, $5 out of your $30 profit. That's okay. Your customer is going to be happy, and they're going to probably leave you a great feedback, and everybody's going to want to buy off your listing.
I'm glad Annette just brought up the point that there's also a lot of opportunity in January after the Christmas season ends, and that's actually going to be a good. We're also going to bring on Brian later to talk about what to do after Christmas. So the party never stops.
Right. Someone just mentioned, Brett covered this earlier, but we just want to nail this point home. David asked, should we buy a product and list with a price that is higher in anticipation of December sales?
I'm not a huge speculation buyer, to be honest. So that's never been a strategy of mine. I like to buy things knowing that I can make money right at that moment. So I'm definitely not the best person to ask based off speculation. I am, if you can buy and make money now, make your money now. That's always going to be my opinion. I come from my mentor, my father-in-law is like, dude, if you can make the cash now and you can get in, get out, do it. So that's always going to be my mentality.
100% agree. And the biggest myth is, oh man, if I wait till Christmas, the price is gonna keep going up. That doesn't always work in the online world. So I would take what you can get.
Get in, get out. You get in a profit. You get in, get out. Rinse and repeat.
That's it.
Rinse and repeat. I'm not waiting for $100 profit when I can get 50. I'm in there. I'm getting the 50, and I'm getting out, and I'm rinsing and repeating, I'm not a fan of waiting. Like, I'm just gonna wait till this gets to $70 before I'm gonna sell. I'm not playing the stock market. I'm, selling on Amazon. So I want to go ahead and ensure that I get, my profit as quickly as possible. Rinse and repeat.
The bird in hand, brother. The bird in hand.
All right. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and it just mentioned about January. A lot of persons they buy gift cards or they receive gift cards for the holidays. They're going to be like, oh, what am I going to buy? So sales go strong all the way through January most of the time. We always have a good January.
What's the Brett? You mentioned the oversized stuff earlier, and you guys will probably know this. What are they called? The Red Rider, the three-wheeler things. I can't remember.
Radio flyer.
Oh, radio flyer. I love those. That whole section is such a great opportunity, such a nice selection of products for oversized. Made me think of that when you were talking about
totally
the oversized.
agree. Yep.
You can even sneak a power wheel every once in a while.
That's
right. Guys, Nathan Bailey here. Just wanted to fill everybody in real quick. One of the questions that I don't think was real clear. When is the last day that you could send something into Amazon for it to be available for free shipping by Christmas? That date is December 2nd. The deadline for free shipping for delivery by Christmas, or actually I believe it's the 14th. In the chat, I've got a whole list, and just here I put a whole list of dates that are important dates in the chat here in GoToMeeting. That we can also copy that as well and throw that in the Facebook group. So dates are important.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, and what they're saying in that is those are the dates that they can guarantee that those will be available. So just kind of understand if you're past that date, they're not guaranteeing it. It doesn't mean they can't do it. It just means they're not guaranteeing it to be available.
and keep shipping all the way through. You know, January is a huge month for me. Even though they call January and February returnuary, you know, make sure to keep some money in reserves for that. But at the same time, keep listing packing shipping. December 26th, I'm listing packing shipping. I'm getting all the post-Christmas deals, you know, that you can get day after Christmas. I mean, that doesn't usually happen until, you know, that's another good time to go out and buy is after January 31st. I mean, there's some really good Christmas items that I buy that they mark off like 75 and 80% off, like Christmas lights. Last year, and I'm already starting to just kill it on Christmas lights. I've had Christmas lights in a storage unit all year long up until about Halloween. Now we got them sent in, and man, you know, those long tail opportunities that present themselves, be on the lookout for that as well.
Also, Nathan, the inflatables, I might have mentioned this, I can't remember if I did, but the inflatable Thanksgiving inflatables, like the Peanuts one, they mark theirs down to like $2 or $3 after Thanksgiving, and they sell for like $60 around Christmas time, and people still purchase them for some reason.
All right.
I'll buy all your Hatchimals if you got them. All of them. My father-in-law's a regional district manager at Kmart, and we cleared out like 3 Kmarts. Nice. Craigslist them. Go to Hatchimals.com. They put a warning out there on those that they're going to be hammering people that are trying to sell them for way more than they should be sold for. They're going to be coming after you. And I mean, they're not restricted on eBay yet, but I expect that to be very soon. So we're doing real well with them on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Justin says, I've recouped my initial investment. I'm making a profit. I love this group. Thanks, Justin.
Awesome, Justin.
What items have a high return rate in y'all's experience? Joyce Clark had that question. I would say, you know, shoes do have a higher return rate than normal, but the profits are so awesome, you know, people are still doing shoes and they're still doing well, you know. That's one product that would probably have a high return rate, and some kind of clothing. But at the end of the day, you know, with the profits that you make off of it, you know, you really, you know, it makes up for any returns that you'll have. Any other, you know, any other chiming in here, guys, in terms of what products may have high returns?
Clothing and shoes the highest. I have about a 15% return rate on clothing and shoes.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd add besides apparel is any toy or gadget that's really complicated. I'll give you a good example. We one year went out and bought, you know, I don't remember how many years ago it was now, maybe 3 years ago, the flying like helicopters, you know, remote helicopters. Mm-hmm. Those things are extremely difficult to fly, and like, you know, 10-year-old Timmy gets it and can't fly it and crashes it into a wall a few times and then returns it. And so just things when you kind of look at them like, man, that seems really complicated. If it's really, really complicated and, you know, grandma's buying it as a gift, there is the possibility that'll have a higher return rate.
Yep. And, you know, Mary just made a great point. They said they are restricted on eBay in the sense you can only list 2 or 3 per 7 days. I guess that's the Hatchimal she's referring to, 2 or 3 per 7 days. Well, you know, I'll take the sale and keep going.
The problem with the Hatchimals is they don't hatch some of them all the way. So yeah, they're gonna, if you're selling them on eBay, you know, and you're doing a 14-day return policy on those, expect to see returns on some of them. There are lots of reports that they're just not hatching all the way.
Soon they're gonna have the Hatchimal police busting Craigslist deals.
They will. Look at Hatchimals.com. Look at the pop-up that comes up first on their page.
Let's get out of here. Here they come. Hide the Hatchimals. Eat them.
Someone just asked the question, do you accept a higher grocery rank on Christmas grocery item since it's not sold all year round? Yeah, I mean, I just jump on this real quick because that's one of my major categories. I'll go higher on grocery items in terms of rank during the holiday season. But, you know, because of doing this for the past 6 or 7 years, we understand, you know, what rank we can go high on, and we understand what we need to bundle. So even if something is 60,000, 70,000, and always remember this, guys, you could see an item at 150,000, and after 2 or 3 sales, it's down to 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to watch it, because after 2 or 3 sales, you're just like, wow, this is 50,000. And the more consistent the sales are, more people on there, more consistent sales, the rank will stay down. So sometimes you might see a product like, this is 170,000. I wonder if I should really go for it. You look at the brand, you look at the reviews, and that's usually a good indicator of how popular this item is going to be. And with a couple of sales, boom, it's gone down and it's dropped down to, I believe, 40,000, and it starts to sell all day long, every day. So I'll go higher on grocery items during the holidays, but I'll have to know the product, know the history, and it's a calculated risk that I'm going to take, but I'll take it.
Yeah, man. There's also a ton of new release items around Christmas time, so the data might not look good. But heck, you could put an ad up real quick, try to generate some traffic toward the product. So definitely keep your eyes out for new released items that come out. They're still good.
And Joseph was asking a similar question: what's the highest ranked toys you recommend? And Lance could jump in on that. Toy.
Yeah, I look at sometimes you can see if there's some reviews that were posted. You don't always have to go by the rank. Obviously, if there's a review posted, somebody purchased it. If it's a recent review, I'll go up to 200,000, sometimes 300,000. If it's a toy that it could have been newly released, there's not a lot of data, there's not a lot of purchases on it yet. And what's it going to hurt to just buy one and list it, see what happens? Use it as a placeholder.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Nate.
I was just going to say, that's a great point, Lance, that, what's it going to hurt to buy one and see? It's not a matter of if it will sell, but when. And your mentality should be, I'm buying with patient money. It's like people buy real estate thinking, I'm going to just be able to flip this property, no problem. No, don't ever buy a piece of real estate you wouldn't own for your whole life. Same thing with these inventory. Buy with patient money, but with toys, the top 1 percentile of toys, of sellers and sales rank in toys, is 60,000. I believe top 2% is 120,000, and that's my personal threshold. If it's over 120,000, there's got to be some other indicators that I'm seeing that tell me to buy. I don't just look at Amazon sales rank. Sales rank is just one of the things that we look at to get an idea that, okay, does the sales rank tell me this? Well, what has the sales rank been over the last 90 days? What has it been over the last 6 months or a year? And then not only that, but what is Keepa, the Keepa chart? Has it showed me that this product's been sold for way less than what I'm seeing it sold for right now? And is there a pattern to it? What's the backstory? Why does it sell for what it sells for? Is it because it was mentioned on this show on the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon and it's got a huge resurgence of sales because of that? If you dig deep, you can find that stuff. So, I know people that would say, 500,000 sales rank on toys because, they're running sponsored ads and they're doing some other things to kind of push the movement of sales. So create your own criteria based on what your abilities are and your skill level is. If you're brand new to the business and you're not quite sure, try to stick within that top 1 percentile to 2 percentile. If you've got a little bit more capital to work with and the higher criteria, rock those higher sales ranks, but make sure to look at the history and the backstory, because sales rank only tells us one side of the story of any given product that we're looking at or any given category.
Yeah, excellent point, Nate. And last week, when we had Danny on, he was talking about discontinued items. I mean, he was talking about Dot McStuffins that were super hot last year. Nobody's even looking at them this year. He's buying for $30 and selling for over $99. And I'm just thinking about these things, and it's like, he said he'll walk into a store and within 30 minutes he can find $500. Within 30 minutes he can find $500 in profit. And these are products that people are just walking by all day long. And just a simple tip that he gave last week about checking on the top shelf. Not a person. And you know what I find, Lance? Sometimes I was looking for the sheets, the sheet sets, and I saw a person. They were hiding them. You found them in some strange places.
I remember it. You can run but you can't hide when I'm in a store. I always find it.
They try to, somebody comes in and they're like, I don't have enough money to buy this right now. So they'll just tuck it into a corner or put it on the top shelf. And that's where you look, on the top shelf. Nobody else is looking. Get the ladder. Go up there. Look. Do things that others won't do, as Brett mentioned in his presentation. That's when you stand out from everybody else. I can tell you that. I've been doing this business so long. You see people who are successful. they do things that others will not do. The herd will not do it, and that's what you have to do.
I learned.
Try and differentiate yourself.
It's cool too because I learned some of the best tips from beginners. I learned because it's so creative. They come in with this fresh mind, and think about that when you're in your WhatsApp groups too. Don't discount a lot of these beginners that are starting out. Like, I don't know how long Danny's been selling, but he gave a great tip about typing discontinued items into Amazon search. And it brings up a lot of items that are discontinued, and he keeps an eye out for those when he goes to the stores.
That's it. He doesn't waste time on anything else. He knows what he's going for based on what is popular on Amazon. He's going directly for those items. Francesca had a great question. She said popcorn tins that expire 3/17. I was warned on Inventory Lab that AZ will not accept it when the expiration date is less than 105 days. And in the health section, it says should have a shelf life of more than 90 days. I would really try to get those sold by December 17th. You know, I really want to sell those before December 17th. That would be my advice, because that's like the 90 days, and that's what I don't want to, mess around. It's about 3 months that Amazon, say the shelf life has to be more than that, because they're going to start expiring your products right at that time. So it's not even expired yet, because they're going to be like, oh, we're going to be shipping these products to our customers, and it's going to be too close dated, so we're going to start expiring them and sending them back to you. So if it's expired on March 17th next year, I'll try to get them out there before December 17th of this year. That's just my personal take on it. David had a question. It said, is Amazon sales rank a good indicator to judge eBay sales? Nathan, I guess you could jump in on this one because you have good experience with both of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, with eBay, and you'll want to flip that around in reverse. If I always go and research eBay, I'll give a good plug. Jordan Malik has a tool called Clear that is a great tool when you're researching things. Will show you what it's selling for in other marketplaces, and you can do quick completed listing searches. ScanPower now has it too, which is really cool. But I like to go on eBay, and if I see a lot of green, which when you're in the completed listing search on eBay, which you can find by sorting it on the left side when you search anything, it'll give you the option. It'll say show only completed listings or sold sales, right? Or listings with free shipping. There'll be an option to check called completed listings. You can then see the completed listings of did that item end in the result of a sell or did it not sell, and if the item, the number on it that it's sold for is green, it means it ended in the result of a sell of that, that much of a sell. So if I see a lot of green in the completed listings, and I know it's a good seller on eBay, I know it's an even better seller on Amazon, because the buyer traffic is going to Amazon. Amazon's the 4th most visited website on the internet in the U.S., as to where eBay, they dropped to number 9. They're the 9th most visited website. Historically, they've been the 7th most visited website. So you can kind of gauge that based on if it's popular on eBay, it'll be popular on Amazon. But if it's popular on Amazon, it may not be on eBay. But then again, you've got something that's overly saturated on eBay, like a good point that Clyde makes up about Danny Stone buying toys that are 90K to 100,000 ranked, that are void of Amazon sellers. Saturation is a big aspect. A lot of times I'm selling clothing and shoe items that Amazon has got it, Zappos has got it, and they are tanking the prices at wholesale. There is no way I'm going to sell it on Amazon. I'm going to wait 6 months to a year to sell it on Amazon, as to where if I put it over on eBay, I'll probably sell it in a month because nobody else has it over there, right? So there's a lot of different things to factor in when you're making your decision on should I list this on eBay or Amazon. The best school of thought, in my opinion, is both, because you're hitting multiple birds with multiple stones that way. Listing with Joe Lister. One question to answer about Joe Lister is you send your inventory into Amazon FBA. You sign up for a Joe Lister account. In Joe Lister, you can go in and select the items you have listed on Amazon that you can automatically list over to eBay fairly quickly. There's a few little edits that you'll make maybe in the title or your pricing, and it'll automatically list that item over to eBay. And then when the item sells on eBay, Joe Lister automatically tells Amazon to ship the item to the customer via FBA, so it automatically creates that fulfillment order for you automatically. So you can't send things into Amazon, that you're going to be selling on eBay that you can't sell like a restricted item on Amazon and expect that, I'll just Joe Lister it over on eBay and have Amazon ship that to my eBay customer for me. Not to eliminate the confusion. Joe Lister is just a tool to take all your Amazon products that are at FBA, have them listed over onto eBay, and when they sell on eBay, Amazon will automatically ship the product to the customer for you, to your eBay customer, without you having to lift a finger. It'll automate the fulfillment order for you.
Hey, Nathan Barrington's going to do a whole webinar on that topic and show screenshots and stuff, so
Awesome.
we don't have to go too deep in that direction. The webinar's coming up.
That's a great tool, though.
It is beautiful. Yeah, I completely agree. When you're on eBay, guys, if you've never used eBay to do price research, click the advanced search. That's one thing Nathan left out, because you may be looking like, I don't see what he's talking about. All the way to the upper right-hand corner, it says advanced. Then you can click the checkbox that says search completed, or even better yet, click sold, and just see how many of these things sold recently. And then check completed listings to see how many sold versus how many didn't sell. So you know how hot it is. I use that one. Sometimes that's what flips. If it's a coin toss on whether I should buy something or not, I'll go over to eBay and I'll see how hot is it. Because if it's hot on eBay, like Nathan just said, I guarantee you it's hot on Amazon if it's hot on eBay. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and someone just asked real quickly, I'll just take this last one. Christy, with Joe Lister, do you get charged FBA fees and eBay fees? No, remember, all you're doing on Amazon is fulfilling a merchant fulfill order. So you're not going to get FBA fees because it didn't sell FBA. You're just going to do merchant fulfill. So the only thing that you're going to be charged from Amazon is the shipping. So they're going to charge you to ship it out to your eBay customer. And a question everybody asks, so won't the eBay customer complain that, hey, I'm getting a smiley box? They never had a complaint. I've been doing this for years, never had a complaint that, hey, why are you sending me my product in an Amazon box? They're just happy to get their product. Life goes on. So don't overthink it. All right, thanks, guys. We have 4 minutes. Let's get some more questions in here. We have 4 minutes left, so we can take a couple more questions in here. Let me see. Anything else that I missed out? Joseph was asking, do the pics come over in eBay from AZ? Yeah, everything comes over. Everything comes over. Everything. They list it, bring your pictures over, everything. And that's the easy. And a lot of persons are running away from eBay because, like, oh, so it's so hard to list on eBay. I can't even deal with this. It's much easier. Now it's usually UPC code. And once they can match up the UPC code, they'll pull all, the listing is already there. You just say sell one like this, or, list the same item, and it's done. I mean, it has taken so much headache out of selling on eBay. Yes, definitely. I'll be talking more about this on December 5th, so join it, and other platforms as well. But, eBay definitely. I'll be talking about that on December 5th. So look out for that webinar. Do you know any prep ship centers that are still accepting new clients at this point? Nathan, you familiar with anyone that's still accepting clients right now?
Yeah, there's a company called Worldwide Fulfillment. You can find them at worldwidefulfillment.com. And John Bullard, too. I mean, he's always accepting new clients. He's always expanding and providing great service. I don't like to, endorse any prep service. There's a whole list of prep services in the PAC course in all the different states. So, some people prefer to have a prep service that's in a tax-free state, like Montana. But one thing I would recommend against is if the prep service requires you to pay them an enrollment fee to a setup fee. I would skip them. There's too many good prepping services out there to get roped into that. But worldwidefulfillment.com, they're great. Steven over there, it's so reliable, and they're not too busy. They have set group of large clients that they work with, so you can get stuff sent in there and get a very, very quick turnaround. That's what you want to ask is, if I ship inventory to you this week, how long before it actually gets shipped to Amazon from your end? So make sure to interview them and make sure they meet your criteria. But my inventory team, John Bullard's company, and worldwidefulfillment.com as well too. They're the companies I'd recommend.
All right. Excellent. Fahim says it doesn't think John is accepting any new clients right now. But again, guys, thank you so much for coming on. And remember, the challenge that I issued earlier to start off this webinar, ensure that there's something. I know we covered a lot of information tonight, but what we want you to do is just pick out a few points that you're going to take action on tonight, tomorrow. And we want to see that activity on Facebook. Just post those questions on Facebook, or those challenging questions that you have on Facebook. We want you guys to take action, because you can come on the webinar, you can listen all night long, it sounds great, you're all excited, and tomorrow you're like, oh, I'm just back to normal. We want you to execute, take action on what you have learned tonight, and then you'll be able to ask questions that we can jump on real quick. We want to thank everyone for jumping on tonight. Jim, Nathan, Brett, thanks, Stephen, Lance, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. And
great job, everyone. Good stuff.
Good information that you can take action on right away. Again, if any questions was missed, you can post those questions on Facebook and get back to your groups. It's just one or two ideas to just get things pumping. It's like you make that score. You're just like, yeah, I went out and I got this product and it's amazing. I mean, a product was posted today in one of the groups. It's something that's discontinued. It's in Walmart and it's so easy to get. Just go there and get it. Find that win. Get that win under your belt. And once you do that, you're just going to be so excited. You're going to start sharing, and it's coming up to Thanksgiving, and you're going to see it's like that. It's that starting point. It's that once they hit the go button, it's non-stop until December 25th. So again, thank you guys so much for coming on. Guys, any last words?
No, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate
it. Right. Thanks, Brett.
Excellent.
Stay encouraged. That's my last word. Stay busy. Stay positive.
Gratitude.
Take care, guys.
Yep. Hey, we'll get this recording posted real quick for you guys, hopefully tomorrow on Facebook.
Excellent.
All right. Love y'all. God bless.
Love yous. Have a good night, guys.